Okay, good morning, everyone. I think since we are uh, short of time, and since we only have, I think, 1 hour for this special program that we have for the entrepreneurs of Mizoram, I think we will start. I am Isagulamo Anpuya from Planning Department, Senior Research Officer. And with us, we have Dr. Amit Kumar Dwivedi. He is the Associate Professor in charge, Department of Policy Advocacy, Knowledge and Research. And among his many specializations, he has in his resume entrepreneurship education, rural entrepreneurship and development, working capital management of newly launched businesses, efficiency measurement of business units and institutions. So we are very lucky to have him here with us. I know that this will be an English program, and so the attendance might also be a bit limited, and I ask Dr. Amit to understand us. So we'll start. Our Dr. Laldin Lianavarte will be joining us anytime soon. And not waiting for that, I think I will start off by asking our guest speaker to speak on the topic.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me, and good morning to everybody, whoever is there attending this this webinar. It's very important when I see the context Mizoram. I've been there and I learned a lot from people in Mizoram, and it is very unique place, I would say. Why? Because when I teach entrepreneurship, I would like to have individuals who are very much entrepreneurial in the nature. And I find Mizoram people with lot of zeal, lot of enterprising behavior. And when I return back, I share this experience with many, and Professor Varte is a good friend of mine. We have been interacting a lot about how we can build entrepreneurship in the region, how Mizoram can lead the whole region, northeastern states, in terms of creating enterprises, as well as hand-holding, mentoring family businesses. So I'll be talking today on the topic which is there for entrepreneurship opportunities in post-COVID situation, and what are the challenges and opportunities. And I will cite certain opportunities that I could figure out with my exploration literature, with the experience, with the interactions, and that I'm going to share here in the presentation. So I will start with my presentation, as a brief presentation I'll make, and then on this presentation only I'm going to interact using this presentation. I hope this is visible to everybody. So first of all, I'm thankful to EDC, Planning and Program Implementation Department of Mizoram, for holding this unique webinar, which is the need of the hour. And especially when the youth is very much interested in taking up entrepreneurship as a career. So it is very important that the context is. And EDC, I know EDC is very much proactively working in this space and trying a lot to build entrepreneurship in the region and everywhere. So Lavin. So Lavin, I welcome you. Yeah. So the topic that is given to me is relevant, and I'm going to discuss with a bit of basics of entrepreneurship. This is required basically when we talk entrepreneurship. So why entrepreneurship is needed? When we see we have a lot of opportunities, lot of capabilities. Individuals are having a lot of capabilities, and when they go for the job, we have seen most of the capabilities are not being utilized properly. But when we think about entrepreneurs, certainly he utilizes his or her all the capabilities that he or she possesses, because enterprise needs all those capabilities. It helps enhancing self-confidence and skill, yes, a lot, because once you enter in enterprising career, your confidence should be always high, because you are going to interact a lot with different stakeholders. and they are going to interact with you, and you are going to compete in the market. So this helps building the self-confidence and building several skills that I'm going to talk in further slides. It helps in sensing opportunities, because that is the most important thing when we talk about entrepreneurship. Unless you see opportunity and you act properly on that, you cannot become a good entrepreneur or successful entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship is all about opportunity sensing, I can say. So those who are thinking about entrepreneurship, they should have this capability to sense the opportunity and add more and more value to that opportunity so that society can be benefited. Learning creativity, imagination, and innovation. Unless you have creativity in the product or in the service that you are delivering and that you are planning, you cannot sustain the market, because everybody is so creative today and trying to have a lot of innovations. Lot of innovations are happening in and around, and that is all because of the imaginations that you have. So in that sense, it is a must to have creativity, imagination, and innovation. Bringing new solutions to the society's problem. Mizoram is very close to Bangladesh, and I can cite here one example of Bangladesh. We all know that there is a professor, still he's there, Professor Muhammad Yunus, and he is a Nobel laureate. He is a Nobel laureate not because of some literature, because of some formula and some technology. He did some social innovation. Social innovation, what he did, he helped rural women in becoming entrepreneurs. How he helped? He identified small lendings with the help of banks, and then microfinance system came, and that social innovation helped a lot of women in Bangladesh. They all became entrepreneurs, and that one revolution has helped a lot to the society. So these bringing new solutions also is the part of entrepreneur. So I would rate him, I would say he's a social entrepreneur. He's working in the society, creating innovations that provides livelihood to the others. That is one of the responsibility of entrepreneurs. They need to create enterprises, they need to create jobs for others. Also, they need to achieve their desired goals, because that is why they are entrepreneurs. Unless they achieve their desired goals, they are not. They should be trying day and night for achieving their goals. And becoming interdependent means they cannot be just independent, they should be interdependent, means everybody is dependent on the other person. So that is how entrepreneurship is needed. Who is an entrepreneur, if I ask? So you, I, and those who could see an opportunity, it may be business, it may be social, act on that properly, should be acting, should be trying to solve that problem, should be acting on the opportunity, and it may be social, business, or organization. All three areas are open for any person becoming an entrepreneur. Now I will cite here a very small data from a very big study that we do every year. This is Global Entrepreneurship Monitor study. Every year we conduct this study. EDII is the lead institution for this study in India. We started in 2012 after a long break, and we started with two other institutions. Then again, we took two new institutions, and it is going on. So we are three institutions working for this study. And this study says that this is one part of the study, that is National Expert Survey, that talks about what are the fostering factors to entrepreneurship, what are the recommendations to entrepreneurship development, what are the constraining factors. And if you see the fostering factors, it is the government policy, government programs, and education and training, and cultural social norms, capability for entrepreneurship. So these are the things to be taken care properly to enhance, to develop entrepreneurship in any state. If I talk about Mizoram, you are very much proactively trying to develop policies for the state. That is a must. You are on the right track. You should be having the right kind of programs to develop people. At the same time, you should need education and training programs for entrepreneurship, so that you can have many youth entrepreneurs who will come and who will take up entrepreneurship journey and will create more and more enterprises. Also, cultural and social norms. Culture should be very much supportive to entrepreneurship. Like you can see, many states in India, they are very much okay with entrepreneurship. But there are many states that are not okay with entrepreneurship. Means what I'm saying here, culture supports a lot to the community, in the people becoming entrepreneurs. Like I'm coming from Gujarat. Gujarat is one among those states where entrepreneurship is the forefront, but the career option. People are trying to become entrepreneur. That is the first career choice. That should be created in Mizoram as well. And EDC, which is very, very much proactively working in this space, that should be agenda of EDC to create a culture in the society of Mizoram so that people can become entrepreneur alone. If I see recommendations, entrepreneurship education is one among the top recommendations. Means you should have right kind of education and training programs for entrepreneurship. You should provide some financial support. You should be having government policies, government programs, research and development. And the constraining factors are financial support. So it has been seen that people, those who are interested in starting some venture, they see some constraint in financial support. So that kind of mechanism, some kind of mechanism should be developed so that people can take up small funding, small support from the government and start their own venture so that they can taste the flavor of entrepreneurship and they can easily take up entrepreneurship as a career option. And this data is based on 72 national level experts who are participating in our global entrepreneurship monitor. This I wanted to share because we must know what is the status of entrepreneurship. Now there is a great data set that I always share. It is about share of world's GDP, and you can see here the India in century 1 was where it was contributing more than 30% of the world GDP share, more than 30%. And now we can see here what is the situation. Why this has happened? Why we did not continue with our experience, with our knowledge base, with our resources? So something has happened, and because of that we could not continue. But India has a lot of intellect, lot of intellectual power, lot of technological minds. And this is the time when again we can take the lead because the whole world is starting from zero. Everybody is in this COVID situation, and if we take a lead, certainly we can again provide a lot of things to the world, and it is our responsibility as well. It is India's responsibility to provide several things, all the knowledge, technology to the whole world, so that everybody enjoys the technology, enjoys the education. When I'm seeing why this has happened, so there are a few things that I could drag down from this the literature, that mechanization in industrial production led to demolition of handmade production. So earlier we were doing a lot in handmade field, where we are producing everything through handmade. But of late, industrial revolution came, and then we started using machines. But there also we could not do much. So this is again a time to think about the handmade things, because they have a lot of market demand, they have a lot of repetition in the market, and our Indian people have a lot of understanding about how to develop something, how to create something, how to make something, and that should be strengthened, that should be improved. Global value chain is broken due to manufacturing shift from India to many other countries, and that is why we lost the global market share. Again, there is a time to think about that. And use of artificial colors, flavors, designs led to shift of production from indigenous manufacturing to industrial manufacturing. We were more into indigenous manufacturing, using organic colors, using natural colors, using natural technologies, and we know they all have a lot of demand today as well. So we must be thinking about how we can rejuvenate this sector so that more and more employment can be created. Market gives less value to human efforts than the machine made. We all are in the same era. We are respecting a lot of machine things, but less of human efforts things. But this is a time where if India wants to become Atmanirbhar, this is the time when India should think about how human efforts can be acknowledged, can be supported, and can be improved. Lack of market confidence about handmade. Every individual who is in this space of entrepreneurship should think about how handmade products can be groomed, can be developed, and how they can also attain a market confidence. Market prefers selling products of foreign lands than domestic lands. Now there is a campaign in India, people are trying to use local things. I think that is very, very good, because then our own entrepreneurs, then our own people, because when I was in Mizoram, I bought a lot of clothings, lot of traditional clothings of Mizoram for my son, and I still have that. I love that a lot. See, this is indigenously developed things that should be strengthened, that should be preferred. I should prefer my own things, which is being produced by my own people. So there is again a scope for that. Problems are different today than centuries ago. Today's problems are different, and people should be thinking about how they can solve today's problem and how they can be more innovative, more creative, and so that they can solve the social problems, business problems, as well as industrial problems. If we see the education in India, it was the holistic education, holistic approach was there. Means everybody was thinking about the whole society. Whenever we think about education, we are thinking about how we are going to contribute to the society. We give a problem-solving technique to the kid, to the student. We teach them how to think about risk and return, how to observe things, how to have a logical thinking, a critical thinking, how to sacrifice for others, how to have interactions with shareholders, how to have value-based education. And all these things are based on 4 different pillars of experimental, innovative, skill-based, and resource. This is the need of our today as well, because when we are thinking about people becoming entrepreneurial, they should be allowed to become experimental. They should have the ability, they should be taught how to become innovative. They should acquire skills which is required for business or jobs, and they should know how to manage the resources. So these are the things which is required in any education system if we have. Now I'm going to talk about the opportunities which are there and which I can see in the society. So the scenario is economies will start from zero. Everybody is going to start from zero post-COVID, because everybody is facing this problem. This emergency is across the globe, and throughout people are facing this situation. So this is a time when a country should start from zero and should take newer areas where they can build up their businesses, so that youth can also join this initiative, and they can also make their career in this space. Resource constraints in every industry. Resources are not there, laborers are not there, raw material is not reaching on time. So the resources are there, and whenever you see there is a constraint, there's always a possibility to have an enterprise. So constraints are always gaps where people can think about opportunity and they can go for enterprise creation. Laborers is a big problem for small and large enterprises. Financial equity is a big problem. Investments in technology is required today, because people are thinking about technology a lot, and that is going to help industries for production. Virtual office concept, we all are knowing that. I am here in Ahmedabad, and you people are listening from Mizoram and many other parts of the world, and this is the virtual office concept we are going to appreciate. Work from home, less office management, home as a workplace. So we have to think about what opportunities exist when people start working from their homes. What kind of gadgets would be required, what kind of furniture would be required at home, so that they can run a virtual office from the home. Less of transportation and more of video conferencing is the new normal today. So seeing this situation, the rural, why I'm talking about rural, because Mizoram has a lot of rural areas and lot of opportunities I could see. I visited there and I see a lot of things, possibilities there. So millions of laborers move to villages, manpower with employability and entrepreneurial skills available in the villages, variety of farmland equipped with tube well, water supply accessible, fertile land is there, organic farming. Sikkim is very close to your place, and you can see how better they're managing this organic farming system in the whole state, and they are becoming a success case across the world, and that is opportunity for Mizoram as well. They can also think about how to enter in this space, because Mizoram is also having good land. For tourism, already you are doing a lot, but this is one space where you should be thinking. Almost every household has a mobile phone, improved infrastructure is there, rural consumption is much higher than the cities, and about 33% rural families own two-wheelers. So incredible natural resources are there, and villages have unique and indigenous knowledge base. So this slide tells a lot about rural entrepreneurship as well. Now, what are the future of entrepreneurship? If I see the different sectors, that is the topic of today's talk, the future of entrepreneurship. So healthcare is the very, very much emerging area where from past about 70, 80 days, we all are thinking about our health here because the corona has made us so health cautious and we are thinking about that. Ayurveda is getting a lot of momentum. It is the contribution of India to the whole world. Yoga becoming getting a lot of popularity, though we have International Yoga Day as well. But people are saying in US, in other developed nations, people are very, very much active on yoga practicing, and they are saying that this has helped a lot in peace of mind, in health, in having a peace, calmness. So this is again a sector. Skill development is a big, big sector in a country like India. E-learning, massive open online courses, executive education, software development, research development, database management and security, e-commerce, digital library, social media, social networking, video conferencing. These all are the areas where a lot of opportunity exists, and one by one we'll be trying to understand how people of Mizoram can think about these areas and develop their own enterprises. So if I think about illness and wellness division sector, healthcare is the important sector. Manufacturing is very, very important area where Mizoram can think about having an area where these manufacturing companies can be, because you have that kind of natural settings. Companies can go there if they are thinking about organic or Ayurveda kind of manufacturing, they can go there. Services delivery is one of the areas. Hospitals, clinics, and pathologies is very, very much a prosperous area now because people are going to have a lot of tests about their body, about their healthcare, about their health, and that helps clinics and pathologies to come up in a big sense as an enterprise. Wellness centers are opening up everywhere. This is again, youth can think about wellness centers, spas and all, and they can go for setting up their own ventures. Ayurveda production is important. Consulting is another area where you can guide people, you can consult people, you can mentor people. Trading of Ayurveda has come up so well, and a lot of techniques can be there through you can take franchisee or partnership or collaborations. A lot of possibilities are there. Manufacturing and branding. Then yoga and meditation, you can see a lot of centers and web portals. Web portals are again very, very much prosperous area where people can think about how to have a web portal for yoga meditation. Channels. We have a very few channels, but see the size of the country and the whole world is now thinking about this. So we can have good amount of yoga and meditation portals, channels, web pages. Anybody from a corner of the world can start a web page and whole of the world can see that. This is again a good area. Videos, e-yoga consulting. These are the few areas where people can think about entrepreneurship in illness and wellness sector. When I'm talking about skill development, migrant laborers are moved to their villages and they all have mobile phones. We can develop small videos, small sessions, and we can subscribe. They can subscribe these videos and they can participate in those programs. They can learn, and with a very small ticket size of payments, they can participate like 50 rupees of amount. If one labor can learn about 3 hours, and you are having more than 5,000 laborers on your page, see the amount of business you are going to do. So think about a small price, but a big volume business in migrant labor area. Unorganized sector is there for skill development. You can develop skills of financial literacy, how they can go for tourism development, how they can support tourism industry, how they can go for organic, how they can go for other enterprises. All these things can be taught. Factory workers can be trained in safety and security, in many other many other techniques. Farmers can be trained how to have a good farming, how to have soil testing, how to have a good kind of storage management, how to have input management. All these things can be taught. Homemakers and ITs and politics, they all can be held through skill development programs. E-learning and MOOCs, schools are already using MOOCs now. And what I'm trying to say here, we can also think about local language-based books. Local language. When I'm saying local language, like in our whole country, we have a lot of local languages, and people prefer having local language when they go for learning. So our youth of Mizoram or a startup of Mizoram can think about how they can develop a MOOC in local language. and that can be spread out in the whole Mizoram. Also, you can think about the whole Northeast, because you have very good facility in Mizoram University. I visited there. Lot of good systems you have. You can think about professional courses you can develop through e-learning and books. Higher education courses, we all are using Zoom to teach courses. It is a time to develop our videos and courses through using these techniques, and they can be done through e-learning areas. Teachers, trainers, consultants, all can be trained. Executive education can be provided now, because everybody is trying to develop their capability during this lockdown time. So entrepreneurs, managerial officials, everybody is interested in developing their capability. Now, when I'm seeing the IT, R&D, and database security, this sector has come up so well, and this is going to get a lot of response from the market, because we all are now using technology. The whole world is using technology and not visiting, not traveling, seeing, working from home, storing data on laptop, everything. So see how much of load they have. So if IT and software sector, if startups of Mizoram can think about developing some kind of software, some kind of tools, IT tools, packages, ERPs, MIS, or SMEs in local language, certainly it will help a lot. Certainly it is going to give a lot of boost to local entrepreneurs. Even taxation and accounting packages can also be developed. What I'm trying to say here, IT and software sector has got a different kind of market today, and they need to act a lot to get those kind of segments. Health-related research development, one virus has made this whole situation across the globe. Now see, in coming future, a lot of these things are going to happen. In this case, health-related research is going to get a lot of momentum, and youth who are having this biotechnology area or bioinformatics area, they should be thinking about startups where they can go for data informatics of individuals, personalized data of human of people can also be developed through portals. So this is the area where people can think about management and security. Since the whole data set is available on internet now, so security becomes very, very important there. So security and surveillance is another area where people can think about developing packages, developing softwares, and forensic security software is the need of how today, because when you work a lot on software, a lot of discrepancy may come, a lot of security related things may come. So in that sense, forensic security softwares is the need of the hour. E-commerce, entrepreneurship opportunities in e-commerce, social media, and video conferencing. This is again a very good area. We all have seen, especially I'm from Ahmedabad, due to Corona situation is not that good here. So nobody goes outside and buys products from the stores. So online food delivery is the only way to get grocery. So this is one situation, but not only grocery, even vegetable, even kirana, even medicines. And we have very handful of e-commerce companies who are providing. Now see the size of the country. It is so big. And when everybody wants, everybody needs this kind of services, then there will be need of so many startups working in these areas. So youth of Mizoram, youth of the region, startups of the region can think about how they can translate the same business through e-portal, e-medicine, e-kirana, e-transport, e-online industrial goods delivery as well. This is the area where a lot of opportunities exist. Social media and networking. Old age people, we all use a lot of Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and Insta, and all. But there is a need to have a special page or a special networking site for old age people as well as kids, because they also need this kind of socialization today. So there is again a scope for the this segment when where youth can think about startups. E-library, again, we need, because we are not visiting library in physical form. E-library is the need for elders, for children. Yoga and meditation communities are required. So communities, web communities are required. Video conferencing, office work. For office work, we need video conferencing facilities. So we have we have a Zoom, we have Microsoft Teams, we have Google Meet, and a few more. But see the size of the country and see the whole world. The whole world is searching good engines, good kind of techniques, technology. And this space is also open up for everybody. Examination, monitoring of activities. Again, this is the area where people can think about how they can develop startups. If I see agricultural area, there are two different things, pre-harvest and post-harvest. And both are giving a lot of opportunity for the youth. E-commerce portals for agricultural inputs, we can think about how e-commerce can help farmers for their input supply. Like they need fertilizers, they need seeds, they need a lot of biochemicals and all. And in that sense, they need to go and get it from the stores. If they can get, I'm talking about the states like Maharashtra, like MP, like UP, they won't get these things easily. And anybody from Northeast or from Mizoram can develop a startup which can serve the purpose of the whole country. So that sense, you can think about a startup for farmers for input supply. Even think about mobile applications for soil testing, because farmers also need to know what is the soil, what are the ingredients in the soil, and what they need to keep, what they need to put more. So in that sense, they need to know the test of the soil, and it is very, very difficult for a farmer to go and wait for 7 days, 8 days to get the lab report. So they should need a device where they can simply test it. Even drones are being used for farming. So think about how the technology is helping a lot. So these are the few areas where I'm seeing, but there are many other ways where youth can think with their creative mind, innovative minds, and come up with pre-harvest lot of techniques. Farmers, skill development, mobile applications for rates, for pricing of their inputs and outputs. Post-harvest provides great opportunity basically. Post-harvest provides great opportunities for processing of farm produce. Whatever you produce can be processed. And we all know that perishability in India is very high. We don't process so much. Our lot of farm produce simply go waste. So in that sense, processing units are required. And if startup can think about how from farm they can acquire the produce and process it locally, and then send the processed things to the market, it will create employment at the local level and also reduce the perishability. So that cold chain and distribution for fruits and vegetables also is a need today. Cold chains are very, very much less today. Storage facilities are not there. Sorting, grading facilities are not there. Keeping these things in mind, people can think about new startups. And again, using e-commerce, e-sabzi, e-fruit, e-salad. Ghar ka farmer means the farmer means your own farmer. Your own farmer. You can have this concept. You will have this concept tomorrow when people will hire a farmer for their family. 2-3 families can join hands and they can hire a farmer who will simply produce for that family based on their choice, and that is going to come in the future. Like if I want organic foods only, so I and my friends can join hands and we can hire a farmer who will produce organic foods for us and we'll pay to him. So this is again a great sector which is going to come in the future. Livestock is a great opportunity, and Northeast has this potential, lot of potential. So cow dairy, it's popular. Cow dung-based fertilizer, it's again, we all know about that. Cold chain and distribution network. Cold chain should be strengthened, especially in the region Northeast and other states. Cold chain is a must because you have lot of produce, but you cannot transfer those produce to the big market. So there is a great opportunity for those who are thinking about transportation businesses, transportation startups. So they should think about that. Fodder is again an opportunity. You can think about fodder. One cow, one family is a concept going to come, because if you need milk, you can have a cow of your own choice and you can get milk. Fisheries, government is doing a lot of focus on fisheries. So fish farming in villages is opportunity. Processing of food for fish farmers. Cold chain and distribution network, as I discussed. Developing clusters of fish farmers. So you can have some areas where farmers can have fish ponds and they can produce fishes in that area. If fresh fish supply fish from pond to home, again a startup tomorrow, some startup will come with this model, I'm pretty sure. Fish seed sales and distribution is again a good area. So these are the opportunities I wanted to discuss here, and I hope I have covered some opportunities for your region as well. Now there are certain decisions to be taken care properly. When we talk about challenges, it is very, very much difficult for entrepreneurs to sustain in longer period of time, especially in the time that we are facing today, COVID situation. So entrepreneur is a hero, of course, but and he should know everything. So this is basically the challenge. He should know how to get new idea. He should know how to do a business modeling. He should know how to plan, develop a business plan, the competencies he should measure, and he should enhance of his own employees, financial management, funding, organization, taxation, accounting. He should know balance sheet. He should know how to build balance sheet. He should know how to expand the business. He should be a design thinker. He should know how to acquire customers. He should be innovative, and he should also know the laws and requirements, statutory requirements. Now see the range. It is so huge, and this is basically the challenge for any entrepreneur. If he knows all these things, certainly he will do the business well. So entrepreneur should know also to manage the risk, to maximize the return, to compete in the market, to be innovative, creative, explore global market, maintain good team, advanced technology, and financial management. And keeping these things in mind, I am going to give just one solution, which is a must for any entrepreneur, and this is known as co-creating value, co-creating unique value proposition for the new ventures. So what is this co-creation? Co-creation of value is, what is value? First we'll discuss. Value is that factor that helps customer to choose one and not to choose the other product. So that is basically known as the value proposition. Means if you are going in a store and there are two different soaps before you are choosing one and not choosing the other. Why you are choosing the one and why that has made an impression on your mind, motivated to buy, that is basically known as a value proposition. This is very, very important factor of any product. If you can build a good value in the product, certainly your product is going to get a lot of success. But if you can't build, you always will be compared with the better value proposition product, and you will be the second option always for the customer. So becoming first option needs value proposition. So it changes the choice perception of customer. It nullifies the competitor's strength. And when you have value, your competitor will not compete with you because you are the most competent product. Becomes pull factor for the customer acquisition. If you have good value, people will choose you and not the other. It reduces risk propensity because you are leading in the market. It allows charging high price because you are the market leader. People can, your company can charge always high price. We have good examples like Apple. They are the leaders. They have a lot of value in their products, and they are charging very high, and still they are leading the market. Creates niche in the segment, attracts supporters. Funders would also like to join you, and helps becoming brand in the segment. This is basically value proposition. There is a concept of co-creation. We all know that there is a very known professor, Professor C.K. Prahalad. He gave this theory. He was the professor of IIM Ahmedabad. Then he did his BBA from Harvard, and then he became professor at Michigan. He developed this model. Model is known as co-creating value. And there are 4 different things to be taken care of properly. Why I'm sharing this? Because I want startups of Mizoram to think about how they can go ahead with the co-creation concept so that they can lead the market, so that they can build a good value of their own product and services so that they can sustain in a longer period of time. So there are 4 steps to be taken here when you are creating a value. You should maintain a dialogue with the customer. Always maintain a dialogue. How to maintain a dialogue? When you use these e-commerce companies, they all are using this concept. They always ask for a feedback. They always ask you to write the feedback. And that is how they want to associate you with them. And once you write the feedback, you associate yourself a lot. Means just taking service will not associate you that much when you write a feedback, because at that point of time, you are so cautious. So they are creating a dialogue. They're also taking your feedback. They're updating you. They're responding you frequently. So this dialogue must be created. Then allow access. Allow your customer to access the data that you are doing, that you are developing, that you are creating. So allow access to the customer so that he can be very, very much closer to you and he can help you so much. Then become transparent. Always be transparent when you are developing a business model, because your customer would like to see transparency. And once you are transparent, there is no difference between you and the customer. And if there's no difference between you and the customer, certainly think the stage, that stage, it is the customer who is creating the whole business and you are simply there as a job provider. That stage is a dream stage for any startup, any entrepreneur. If you can achieve that level, when your customer is helping a lot you to create the enterprise, that stage is a must for every startup. Risk benefit, you should also think about how the risk is benefiting. So this is the concept of co-creation, and companies are using a lot. I would suggest startups of Mizoram to think about, so that the challenges of today's world can be removed easily, very easily. Applying co-creation concept in crafting a value proposition. So engage your stakeholders in creating value together. Ask them to be there with you, and they should give the feedback. Identify supporting ecosystem players. Identify your funders, your incubators, your accelerators, some faculty experts like Professor Ladin. I know he is a very much active. Should be very much close to the startup. So startups should reach these people and take their help, so that they can advise them, and a startup could develop the capability of becoming a sustainable enterprise, sustainable startup. Designing co-creative interactions for stakeholders engagement. Develop small meetings where you can invite these people for just chit chat and discuss about your business model, so that people can give advice and you can act suitably on that. Engaging stakeholders to expand benefit for all, always engage them, and deepening the impact and enable the viral spread of win more value creation. So you should have a few customers who are who have very close contact with you, and they must be giving a lot of feedback to you, so that you can develop your business value proposition. This is the one model which you can think about. Sometime again I will discuss in detail about this. This is not a double diamond model where you can go ahead with the divergent thinking, convergent thinking. There are 4 stages. You should be starting from the arrow, where discover phase should start, then define the product, then develop the product, and then deliver the product. This can be practiced in any incubator. Any incubator can start with this process, and this is the best way to understand the requirements of the customer, and this is the way to solve the social and business problems as well. Then empathy mapping, always be empathize with the customer. Think about the pains that he has. Think about what he needs from you. And if you go with this model, certainly the challenges of today's will not impact you at all. So empathize with the customer and think what they see, because the customer won't come and tell to your face that he is not interested in your product. They will simply discontinue taking your product and service. So you should be so much vigilant to observe whether the customer is associated, customer is with you or not. So for that, you should be empathized with the customer. Then this is the value proposition canvas. This is one of the techniques I always discuss in my presentations when I talk about startups. So companies and startups should think about how they can develop a value proposition. There are 2 minimum things: customer, jobs, and products and service. These are the bare minimum things. Any company, any startup should need a product, and then only the customer will come and he will pose a job on you. Like if you have a store, customer will come and buy from you. That is the bare minimum thing. But what else to be given is known as value proposition. So customer always have some problems, some pains. I can give one example here for all these food aggregators. When I'm sitting in my office and I want to have a good kind of a food of my own choice from a restaurant, of some city-based restaurant, and I'm quite away from the city, but I can't go and take my food during my lunch hours. So what I can do, this is a pain for me. I have money, I want to buy, I am a customer, there is a company as well which is providing, but there is a pain. The pain is my time. I don't have time. Now, if a company can solve my pain, certainly I would be more than happy. So what happens in this sense, just this observation was taken care into consideration by these food aggregators, and they identified that there are many people who are sitting at their home or at their offices. They have money to pay, but they don't have time to go. What they did, they identified one individual who will take the meal from a hotel and deliver it to the person where the person sits. So it is simply, they did that. So a person, a boy, a delivery boy comes with the packet, he delivers the food to me, and at the same time, I don't need to pay the cash. I can simply transfer the money through my mobile. So that is another advantage to me. So pains are relieved by the delivery delivery at my place. And at the same time, I was gained because when I'm booking so many meals, I'm getting a lot of coupons, a lot of discounts. I need not to pay cash. I can pay through my mobile phone. And sometimes I'm getting discount as well. So this is basically known as value proposition canvas, and this must be practiced by every startup every time so that they can know what are the pains of the customers and how they are able to solve the pains of the customers and how they can create more and more gains for the customers. These are the few things through which you can observe how the value propositions are being built, like online booking, online payment, quickest delivery. This itself is a value proposition. Low cost, handy product, postpaid, easy to return. Lot of Amazon clothing are simply being sold because you can buy, you can try, you can return. So see the kind of sale they are having. Myntra is doing all these things. Free rides. When Ola came, they gave free rides to people. Digital, outsourcing, social media, traditional culture, luxury, easy recycle, after sales support, value addition, and eco-friendly. These all are the ways to develop value proposition in the product. That's all from my side. Now I would like to have, I hope I have covered the topic that was asked from EDC to cover. I'm pretty sure that whatever things we have discussed, people will take in the right spirit and create more and more entrepreneurs in the Mizoram. And when I'm visiting next time, certainly I would like to interact with many startups, and I love to write cases on startups. Also, but if there is any startup that is interested to give me his or her story to write, I will be more than happy to do that. Thank you very much. Now I'm open for the questions.
Thank you, Dr. Amit, so much for your very detailed and very informative PPT. It has those simple ideas as well as those complex tools that we can use for entrepreneurship. And I think this will not only be useful for entrepreneurs, but also for policymakers, I hope, so that the government can also facilitate entrepreneurs in some of the areas that you spoke of. Now, we have, I think, 10 more minutes left, and I would request Dr. Laldin Yanavarte to kindly comment on the presentation.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Amit.
Hello, Professor.
How's everything?
Things are good. Hope things are
Great.
good there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the chats. What kind of questions came up? So, if you have, let's say around 10 minutes for you to interact with them, it would be great. Like, there are some questions like, what are the steps taken by the government of India for addressing challenges or taking opportunities created in manufacturing sector due to the global value chains disruption, particularly shifting China-based manufacturing to India? Do you think there's any opportunity for the Northeast? So that is a question which came up in the chat room.
There is a great opportunity I would see in Northeast. See, Northeast has its unique value in terms of its geography, in terms of the competencies in the people, and also it has different kind of consumptions as well. So, and Government of India is putting a lot of efforts in developing entrepreneurship enterprises in the Northeastern states, and there is a separate division in the Government of India for Northeastern states. There is a NEDFI. There is one wing of financial development institution for Northeastern states. Now, people can think about using the local resources and convert that into the manufactured products. And that is how we can contribute a lot. Now, value chain is broken, but startups can solve every wonders, every problems, everything they can do. They can think about if transportation is a problem, they can think about how they can develop a value chain. This is opportunity basically. I see this as an opportunity. When things are not in shape, somebody should come up, take some government support, take some government grants. They all are available. Like we all know that there is a scheme of Mudra, M-U-D-R-A, Mudra. Mudra is a scheme that provides funding to everybody who is thinking about a new enterprise. Also, there is a scheme of Stand Up India. Stand Up India, it helps to a women and to a SC/ST candidate who is thinking about a new startup. And every bank branch has to finance 2 persons in a year through Stand Up India scheme. So what I'm saying is and this Atmanirbhar Bharat package has several other opportunities where people can think about taking some support from the government of India and can go ahead with their new enterprises. Now, my strong suggestion would be, it is better to go ahead with the food processing sector because that has a lot of opportunity in the region, and it won't need a lot of investment. It is so easy, and if you brand it, because you all have a lot of organic areas where you can simply go with the organic farming using appropriate technology, indigenous technology, it will have a different market altogether. People would be happy to buy organic things. People would be happy to buy handmade things. People would be happy to buy things coming from the communities. So I see a lot of opportunities in that space.
Okay, that's a very good reaction. There are some questions like network marketing, but I think that may not be in the purview of today's topic. There's a request from one of my colleagues. He's Guram Ramakrishna. He's an assistant professor in Commerce Department. He's requesting the PPP, whether you're willing to share the PPP with us. That depends upon you. So if you are, if you do will to share your PPP, then I can give it to Guram Ramakrishna. Hello, Guram. Okay, so he's there.
I certainly,
so that depends.
Yeah. I will share. Since it is meant for you only, I will share to Professor Aldin, and he will share to Professor Guram Ramakrishna. Yes.
All right. So there's another question regarding niche marketing. Whether there are any important factors for creating or selecting niche market segments. It's a marketing question, but nonetheless, it's directed to the resource person. So if you can react with this, or if you don't want, then we can still discuss more on this.
Certainly, I can respond with my little knowledge. Niche marketing is nothing to do with having a niche product. So certainly, if you have a product which has a different kind of value, is better than anybody else, and you are enjoying the monopoly, certainly you can do for niche marketing. But you should be thinking for who you have made this. Who is the audience who is going to finance this particular product? So you should be thinking, when you are developing the whole product, you should be thinking about the business model. And in the business model, you should be thinking about the segment first. Like if I'm developing something for the school children, I should be developing in a sense so that the parents can see a value in that. Means I'm developing for children, but who is going to buy? The decision maker is the parent, is the mother and father, and they should see the value in that. So keeping that in mind means who is the sponsor, who is going to buy should be kept in the center while designing the whole process. And if you can keep that, certainly you can develop the niche marketing campaign and the program for your product.
Okay, great. I have a question from my own. How do you foresee the crisis regarding the government policy, whether new government policies would be coming up for remaking or redressing the grievances of the startups in the whole of India? Is there? The Prime Minister already announced his remedial measures, but we are yet to see these things to put into practice. So how do you foresee the government intervention regarding the crisis?
Very, very important question, Professor Lalgan, because this is the time we have seen government has acted already. Now, government has come up with their plans. Government has already given their cards open to everybody with this huge package that they announced. Now it is the responsibility of entrepreneurs, of startups, of ecosystem players to utilize this. And also there is a campaign by government for vocal for local. So this is again a very good opportunity for people to think about how they can develop something local, which can be sold in the local market and get sustainability in a shorter period of time. So this is time. Government is trying a lot because in very short period of time, government come up with a very good package, and it will impact. I'm pretty sure as a professor of entrepreneurship and finance, I know this is going to give a lot of liquidity support to the industries, small industries as well. And we should positively take these steps, and we should build our businesses. We should build startups so well so that they can be tomorrow's big companies. So it is a very good time for startups. Government is putting a lot of restrictions from outside companies' productions. So this is a time when they can develop the competency, in-house capability, and they can enhance the production process. Think about technology, reduce the cost, and that is how startups can also sustain. So I would see a lot of value, a lot of positivity in these announcements.
Great. Thank you, sir. I don't know whether there's any other question. Do you have anything more? I mean, something which can be a kind of a closing remark for the webinar, sir?
The closing remark certainly would be you are already working you're working to create a lot of startups in the state, and I'm quite aware about the steps are being taken by EDC and your incubator. There is a great opportunity because when I visited and I see a lot of zeal, lot of motivation in the people, and if they can be supported, if they can be helped with the small problems, because there are small roadblocks in the enterprise creation, like they don't know how to get funds, they don't know how to fill the form, they don't know who are the players can support them, they don't know what kind of subsidy is available, they don't know what kind of opportunity is there in the other state, in the neighboring states. These are the small things. If the remedial sessions, mentoring sessions can be planned for those startups or entrepreneurs, even those who are already into business, for existing businesses also sessions can be planned. Certainly they will be coming up with very good propositions, and more entrepreneurs can be created in the state.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for coming on board. Actually, it's a very short notice that we have invited you for this webinar, but you do make your time for us. That is one good thing about you, and you're not a stranger for the state. You have been here in Mizoram in person and in flesh and blood. So you have tasted what the Mizo ecosystem looks like. So I think you are the right person, even though you're from the western side of the country, but still you have made your time here. So I think what you have talked here, it's going to be a very, very important lesson for everyone attending the program. But I have to apologize because we did not get a very great number of participation today because the timing is a little bit, we are thinking of the post-lunch session, but it came in the pre-lunch session. So it came out like this. So the next time we do hope we'll be getting much more presentation, participation, and we do hope we'll be having a kind of a more filled up question and answer time. There's another question, if you have time. This may be state specific. So the question is like this: is there any subsidy for land use, electric bills for startup? This is the last question. So if you can just react with this, then I think after that we can close the webinar.
So startups, basically, they can join the incubators. They can join the incubators, and incubators can support them. There is an incubator, I know. They can go there. They can, and startup should not think about subsidy initially. They should think about, certainly they should take subsidy from the government for many other things, for innovation, for technology upgradation, for business analytics development. But they should also learn how to earn. They should learn how to earn, because this learning will help them to sustain in the market for a longer period of time. Don't always expect things from the government, from the institutions. Try to earn something for your day-to-day expenses. That is how you will build your understanding about learning part. So take the support of incubators, take the support of government, but also try to earn something so that you can mitigate all your admissible daily working capital expenses.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Then after we close the webinar, I'll just give you a ring, a call, so that we can discuss something a little bit more on the other issues, which is not, I mean, suitable to be discussed on the webinar. So with this, I will say thank you for coming on board and sharing your vast experience. Nowadays, I think you have become a celebrity in the education, startup education scenario in India, because I've been following the groups and the many groups regarding startups and incubation centers and associations and as such. And I've been seeing your flyers, and you've been invited all over India to speak on startup and entrepreneurship. So we are very much, I mean, honored to have you on board, sir. And I also thank the EDC, Entrepreneurship Development Center personnel and officers for organizing such kind of program. And as soon as I close this webinar, I'll be calling you up with the officer of the EDC to discuss some more other issues. Okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
All right, then everyone, thank you. And we really appreciate you participating in this webinar. Thank you. Okay. Okay.